healing crystals, skincare routines, knitting a sweater, fitting in jeans. With Katie and Sarah, no need to worry, you're on a lady journey.
Well, here we go.
Lady Journey.
Lady Journey. Hello and welcome.
Welcome. I am getting over another chest cold.
Oh my God, you were saying that.
You know what happened? I ran 2 weeks ago, or maybe a week and a half ago.
You ran during the last smoke. I remember that.
And I had no idea because I thought it was done. And then I remember getting to the park and I could see the city over the river that I was like, oh, this is really bad. Because I couldn't tell when I'm running, but when you see the skyline, you see the fog.
Yeah, when you're like,
smog.
oh, it's messed up out there. I didn't realize it was smoky that day either.
No.
It's like, I guess this is just the world we live in now.
And then when I got home, it was like we're at high advisory. It wasn't as bad as the first one, but it's like I didn't experience any flu-like symptoms, and this is all I've been doing. That I'm like, did I just breathe in plastic water bottles being burned?
I
don't mean to be conspiracy theorist about it, but I'm like, it's got to be the only thing. And they said the baby's still good.
Oh, good. He's still good. He's in there. He's the size of a banana. A banana. Oh my gosh. I got a really vicious headache from that smoke the second time and the first time. So I was like, oh, I guess I'm just like, I feel if I lived in the Victorian era, I would be considered of a delicate constitution. It would be like, Mrs. Hannigan is feeling poorly.
You have a fainting couch.
Yeah. Ew. Yeah, I would just be like, the vapors. Which, what a great excuse. Like, can't go to your boring party. I have the vapors again.
No, when you watch those old movies, I watched The Birds with Alfred Hitchcock, and the mother has to stay in bed at one moment because she had a traumatic afternoon. But it is funny when you watch it, you're like, were women just laying in bed all the time?
Yeah, because of the lobotomies. That's all you could do. Well, it is funny because, like, you know, I have said this on here before, but I can't get over how hilarious it is when I listen to these old-timey, on YouTube, it's like all the rage to hear these like old-timey self-help texts from like Ernest whomever, what's his face. And they're always like, when you get home from work from your 9 to 5, don't just have dinner with your family. You could continue working. It's like, I'm working 80 hours a week. What is your advice for me? It's always that, or it's also like, why, you say what you want and then you'll get it. It's like, this is advice for a straight white man being like, I will have another promotion. They're like, all right.
And not
right, Clarence. Sorry, I could not get out of the act out. Oh my God.
I'll let you stay in there.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Clarence. Mike has been doing, we do characters around the apartment, which is horrifically annoying, I'm sure. People are like, what do you guys like around the place? It's like, you don't want to know.
You will be disgusted thoroughly. I'm like that with Joe where we write jingles.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Love a jingle. Love a jingle. Yeah. Mike and I are living in some type of alternate reality that we've created. And Mike is now doing a new character, which is admittedly funny, but not as funny as he thinks that it is. It's like a seedy comedy club teacher. Seedy comedy teacher where he's like, why don't you come over to my house and let me show you a little type 5? He's like flirting. I'm like, stop, it's disgusting. Yes. But he won't come out of character, so it's just, it's hilarious.
It is fun. Like, that's why it is really funny to exist, like, pretend or portray toxic masculinity.
Yes.
Like some people will get offended by it, but I'm like, it's so outlandish and crazy that we let it go on that long, or like even back then. Yeah. That when you see it now, it's like the most hilarious thing. Like when Dan Rosen was talking about his sandals. Yeah. His dad's, who's Iranian, old school Iranian, was
accusing him of having gay Tevas because they were like color block Tevas. Which is so funny because it's like Tevas is the shoe of the baby boomer, I thought.
Yeah, that's their shoe. Well, like I was thinking, I felt like there should be a commercial for sunblock that says it's geared towards straight men and it's for them they swear if you put this on, it will not turn you gay.
Yeah, like it puts the lotion on its skin. Like totally branded for men, like punching out skin cancer.
Because I do have a theory that it's men that are the number one skin cancer, especially
100%.
boomer men. Yeah.
100%.
Because I think they think rubbing lotion on is gay.
Yes. I think it's also that, like, you know, it's a hygiene thing where it's like, oh, I just don't wash my face. I'm a man. Like, I don't have to do that. And it's like, no, you do.
Well,
you do.
Joe's uncle will be talking to us, and he's kind of bald and light blonde hair from Irish descent.
Yeah.
And it'll just be like red and gooey, like the inside of a brownie. And you're like, I'm sorry, I cannot listen to anything you say right now because your head is
your scalp.
wet.
Clean your scalp. Now, I was wanting to do something for my birthday. This is like a new thing in town. It's called the Brain Detox. Have you heard about this?
No.
It's at Salon 67 in Williamsburg, and they do it is like a neck and shoulder massage, and a scalp and facial massage, and it's supposed, and then they like kind of include a facial on. I could not get an appointment though, so I'm just doing a regular scalp massage.
Okay.
But I think like that's like, I have also seen, this is also the rage too, of doing like the scalp. No, it's called like scalp therapy or something, where you go to the salon and they like put the camera on your hair follicle and they're like, yeah, it's fucked up down there.
That just sounds like a scam that was, it's like, yeah, we're supposed to have that.
Yeah.
That kind of healthy bacteria on our scalp.
Your hair's messed up. Because I saw this place. I swear to God, I really want to do a lady journey out to Flushing, Queens. Which Flushing, it is like about an hour on the train. It's like a trip to going out to the beach on the train. It's far.
Okay.
But there are so many amazing places out there. They have so much really cool like Chinese culture out there.
Yeah, there's great restaurants that I keep wanting to try. Just like all kinds of Asian food is out there.
Yeah, like some of the best. Like there's a place out there that's like a cafe, but everything is like super whimsical. So it's like you get a piece of cake, but like it's decorated as though it's like a magical forest.
Okay.
Like, oh my God.
No, that's what I think we should do that as a lady. We always have like these ideas and I'm like, this, I don't have the energy.
Yeah, classic lady journey. That's so us.
I'm on my fainting couch.
Yeah, well, I saw in Flushing they have, and I actually went to the website of the spa. So authentic. The website is completely in characters. So I don't even know, like, I was like, oh my God, can I even call to make an appointment? But it is a traditional Chinese wet scalp spa. So it's like you go in, and I saw this on TikTok, you go in, they wash your hair, and they do like a wet, you're like on a, like, you know, like at the hair salon where they have the thing behind you to wash your hair. They do like the scalp massage. They like put like oils, conditioner, and it's like a full hour thing, and it's like $50 or something.
Yeah.
I gotta go to do it.
It's like, I feels like I'm saying racist stuff by going like they.
I know. As a white woman, you want to tread carefully when you are talking about the traditional Chinese wet scalp massage, because you don't want to say anything offensive. You're like, it's anxiety inducing.
But like anytime I watch the hair techniques from like say like China or Japan or Korea, it blows your mind. Like you can get like perms to change like the calic of your hair. So it's not like a full perm, but they will work with giving you more volume at your roots.
Yeah. I really like the hair culture in Asia, and we don't have that here.
No, they are very advanced people in beauty.
Yes. Oh my God. Totally. Now, let's change the subject quickly before we say something untoward against another culture.
You never know.
You never do know. I feel like sometimes, you know, we all have, I do think as white people, we have like sometimes a bit of anxiety because you would never want to say something to offend someone, but also sometimes you're just talking away and you don't know what the fuck is coming out of there. So I think I do have like a funny moment sometimes where you're just like talking with somebody of another background or heritage and you're trying to like, you know, make a joke or something, but then at the same time you're just screaming inside your own mind.
Oh, I've done that once, like just talking to a friend, just being like, how can you, it's so hard to accommodate everyone. I'm talking about like wheelchair ramps. I'm like, there should be like a place that they can all go to. And my friend's like, I think you're describing eugenics. And I'm like, whoops.
Whoopsie. We should just get rid of wheelchairs. That's all I'm saying.
Well, it's just like you think about all this stuff in New York. You're like, it's so difficult to accommodate everyone.
I knew a girl who I worked with in a project actually with who was in a wheelchair. She was a disabled woman or differently abled, and she told me a story once about how she like went to NYU. She moved to the city. She was in her wheelchair. She's like never had the use of her legs, and like she would try to go around on the subway, and she would get off a stop, and then the elevator wouldn't be working. So it'd be like her friend dragging her up the stairs, and you're like, "This is what a nightmare this city is."
It is, and then
they're the problem and not us.
Yes. And then the elevator, if it does work, it just smells like urine.
Oh my God, the train elevator, never good. People are living in there. Now, let's get on to I want to do the stone dedication for today. I am so excited. As everybody knows, when we get a new Patreon subscriber, we always dedicate a beautiful gemstone to them.
Yes.
And a wish for their well-being. Now, these gems have been donated to us by the fabulous and amazing Jacob E. Downey. Please check out his YouTube page. He does all of his own gem faceting on there, and it's really fabulous. Now, this is going out to Reed C. Reed! Welcome.
Yeah, thank
Welcome.
you.
How gorgeous is this? It's a piece of diopside. Now, when I had asked Jacob for some stones, I said, like, we want stuff we've never had before.
Yeah. Give us the deep cuts.
Give us the deep cuts. So this diopside helps your spirit feel replenished and grateful. It helps you feel joyful and light while staying connected to the world around you. So Reed C., get out there and appreciate the small stuff today.
Stay connected. It's really hard.
It's the hardest thing I've ever done.
We were just talking. I hung out with a guy last night, and I was like, I cannot stay connected right now.
Yeah. Oh, no. I mean, I'm just always off in my own mind.
Yes.
That's what I'm working on in my therapy, to just like come back to reality. But it's like, I don't like it here.
Yeah, I'm in my own
here.
virtual reality.
I'd rather be living out an insane scenario in my mind that is actually causing me much more pain than sitting here and feeling bored.
Or how about that person be charismatic?
Yeah. How about it's on you to entertain me?
Do you ever tell a story and then you realize that the person's zoning out, and then you're like,
1,000,000%.
I don't know how to get out of it, but I want to help them, being like, let me just wrap this up for you.
Yeah.
Or just be like, I can see that you're busy.
Yeah. You got to throw a curveball. You're like, and then he had a gun. And then my brother had a gun. Now, today's journey, which I will be taking us on.
Yes.
And I'm like pretty excited about this because I always wanted to do this. There's like a certain blog. I think maybe it's like Bustle, or it's like one of the lady blogs, Refinery 38 or whatever the fuck. They do this thing where it's like, they have like a guest each month, and they chronicle their 1 week in my life of like what I've spent in a week.
Okay.
And I'm always like looking for ways to expand my prosperity consciousness, let's call it that, and be aware of like how much I'm actually spending, because like literally sometimes I will like go to pay my credit card bill and I'm like, why is it $8,000?
Is it the airplane tickets?
It's the airplane tickets, and then also it's a ton of little things.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll be like, there's no way, been a mistake. I go back and I add up everything. I'm like, it adds up. It all adds up.
Although I had an incident recently. I rented a car in Denver, Colorado when we landed. Then I paid for it and all that stuff. And then a month later, they tagged on a fee of $99.
Oh my God.
And I asked about it, and I was like, can you send me the itemized of why this is $99? And I was like, oh, it's toll fees. And then I looked at the toll fees, and I was like, why is 3 tolls costing $99? So it was only like $5 for each. And then they charged me a $33 administrative fee for each toll.
How fucked up. Did you have to pay it?
I did. I just went ahead and paid it because it was so much back and forth, and you're like, I don't have the energy to get you on the phone and to find someone to talk to about this, because I felt like I wasn't told this. That the administrative fee to tack on a toll fee was going to be $33 to just type in a few numbers in an Excel spreadsheet.
So inappropriate. And it's like, yeah, it's like, I don't have the wherewithal to turn into the C word that it would take for you to respect me because you end
being
up
a
getting
C-word is a full-time job.
you end up like being, you know, then it's like you have to be like, I want to speak to the manager, and it's like I don't like who I am when I go there.
Yeah, and then sometimes you're like, okay, I get it. Yes, I agreed that I would pay the toll fees, but I wouldn't have done it if it was $33 for each administrative cost for that.
No, fuck no. And it's the economy is like being kept afloat by white women who are quietly quietly
letting
being
things
fined.
happen.
Yeah. I had a thing where I had a flight from Delta and I canceled it within 24 hours, but they still charged me $100 cancellation fee because I didn't cancel it in the proper way, I guess. I just canceled it, but I didn't go through the specific link. So it's like, now that this is going to be, you know, 48-hour episode in my life where I'm like getting up on my high horse.
Yeah.
And demanding, you know, it's like, what am I working for? I'm making $5 an hour.
I set reminders to cancel stuff, especially yearly subscriptions where I'm like, okay, you got me this year because I forgot that you were going to auto pay and meet like right now. So I was like, I put down the date and I was like, you're not getting me next year.
Yeah, no, it's
and I let them know that.
It's so insane, like when stuff gets put on your card, because it's like you do literally have to like, excuse me, obviously that's my birth control alarm, but I've already taken it because I'm not taking any chances right now. Like you do have to sit down and actually go through your credit card because you don't realize like, oh, like $5 here because like I accidentally visited a website which has now gotten my information somehow.
No, I did that. Like I signed up for that write 200 words a day website that every writer was talking about, and then I just lightly forgot about it for years.
Yeah. Now you're $8,000 in debt.
Because like, oh, I could do $5, but after a while you realize you're not using it and it's just adding up year after year that you're like,
yeah.
And so it was one of those things like, do I have to go through this ordeal of explaining myself to these people? Like, I just can't remember to cancel for $5.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they're like, we did it. And I was like, no, you didn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because sometimes that happens where I'm like, you didn't refund me.
I know. It's always a rigmarole. It's always a rigmarole. Like, you know, every gym is like trying to just charge you until the day that you die when you're like, I can't use the gym. I have no legs. I've never been to this gym.
You're just cutting them off.
Yeah. To get out of the contract. Now.
Are you happy now?
Yeah. Look what you've made me do. So what I spend in a week, I'll go through mine, I guess. Okay. And then you can do yours too, or if you feel like you want to chime in.
I'll just chime in because I didn't really keep intact, but I am aware of where my expenses are growing.
Yes.
In the last.
I started out by like calculating what my monthly kind of overhead is, just with like my regular bills, the power, the cable, my rent, and like subway travel. So I calculated that to be about $1,200 every month, which is actually very reasonable for New York City.
Yeah. So much because I don't know.
When
I need all those cable stations.
I need Showtime.
Streaming, yeah.
I need to watch couples therapy every other Thursday when I think about it.
For $12.99 a month.
I know. I basically have paid now $50 to watch Yellow Jackets when I was like, I'm watching it for free because I'm going to cancel it. It's like, well, now it's $80 later. Now I have to say, like, there have been other times in my life where as an artist, I have really made a huge effort to keep my overhead much lower. And now it feels like it's just harder right now because I think it's harder when you're living with a partner because like when I lived in the artist commune, my rent was $465 a month.
Yeah.
And my overhead was like just at $1,000. I was like, I'm paying $1,000. I think I paid $465. That included my utilities. I really kept my grocery budget really low. I had my like monthly Metro card, and then I didn't pay for any TV channels or anything. I just watched stuff on I just pirated stuff, which is wrong, but sorry. So I do think it's possible to do that in New York if you're willing to live in the most destitute situation imaginable.
Yeah, you can do it. I've just never attempted it, and it feels like it would make me horrifically uncomfortable. You're going to have to be alone with your thoughts.
You're going to have to, and you're also going to have to develop a taste for PBR, which I actually love. I love that beer, but now I'm like, I'll have a wine. I don't know. The more you spend money, I think the more you get used to spending it. And
yes,
it's hard to cut back.
Well, that's what you were when you were talking about like living with a partner. Like if I lived on my own, I could live in squalor.
Really?
Well, I mean, not like bad situation. I don't think I could go back to living with a roommate, but I definitely would go back living in Texas, where a cheaper thing. I just find that Joe's taste and threshold for uncomfortability is so much higher than or lower than mine.
Yes. I am like I'm like pretty sturdy, where like I could kind of just if I needed to like put more time and energy into really spending no money rather than like getting a day job. Because I would rather do that. Like I could, when I was living in the artist commune and I was really like, just like I have $1,000 to spend for the month. I want to spend less if possible because I didn't want to work at my tour guiding job. I wanted to really keep the overhead low. Like every week I would make like a big thing of like beans. I would make beans in the slow cooker with like a bag of black beans, mirepoix, and like chicken stock, and then I would just eat that every day for the week, or like lentils or like split pea. Like I would just eat that every day. And, I still had money to like get my coffee at my little place, or like have my, like smoothies and it was great. It was fine.
Yeah. Cause like Joe can't even do, Coach. He always has to try to bump up to, Comfort Plus.
Oh yeah, I'm really sturdy with stuff like that. I'm like, I'll be in give me the last seat, with the like last row, the middle
chickens
seat.
in cages in the back with me.
Fine. Yeah. I'm fine. I just dissociate. I just go into a world inside my own mind. I watch Crazy Rich Asians, which is my classic airplane. That's my airplane comfort movie. I'm like, they're so rich. I love it. I love it. Now, okay, I'm ready to go on my. So starting $1,200, and this is like, I do think this is a week where I had spent more money.
Do you think you could cut it down?
Absolutely. I've been spending a little more money lately just because I'm in a period of like replenishing some things.
Yes.
But I spent, therapy was $50. So that was my one purchase. So we started on Thursday, since today is Thursday. So therapy, just $50 on therapy on Thursday. And that's not that big of a deal. Now, Friday, I think I got like iced coffee, which is like $1.50 in my neighborhood.
That's not bad. Not
bad. I'm good. Then, Saturday, I did get a haircut. So that's like once every other month, and this is a big purchase in my life. Haircut's like $100. Haircut's $100, and that's like the lowest good. It could be. That's the lowest it could be with me tipping like a reasonable amount. And
mine's because I get highlights, so it's close to $400.
They always try to upsell you. They're like, you should try highlights. I'm like, you'll never get me. No. You will never get me. Like luckily I have just very few gray hairs, which I'm hiding so they don't kill me. Society. Just kidding. You can't kill a ghost. And that's what we turn into when we look old. But I also, I try to, a lot of times like cash will like slip through my fingers because I'll be out and I'll be like, I need a $5 seltzer.
Yes.
Where can I go to get ripped off right now for a sugar-free ginger ale?
That's like anytime I'm in Manhattan, I'm like, I guess I go get a coffee, and it's like there's not a Dunkin' Donuts or anything, or a bodega. You're like, I guess I'm gonna spend $7 on a latte right now.
Yes,
because in your mind, you're like, I was talking about this with Joe's family. Like I think in their minds, they don't see spending $7 here and there as being a lot, like the expense or like what, but they will spend a lot of money on other things, and that's where they think is the expensive. And I'm like, it's actually the smaller things that add up. The small
things add up.
Because you'll need the big things, but it's the smaller things, and that's my issue as well.
Yeah.
It's like the $5 seltzer, always stopping off at the bodega to get a drink when I could probably make iced tea at my house.
I know. And it's like, like the pop-in. Although I will say I had a show on Saturday at the Barbershop, which is a cool, unique location in New York City. It's a comedy show that's in a barbershop, as you may have guessed. And there was a guy actually standing out front. Oh my God. He was like standing out front, and I'm like, thinking it's a comic. He's like, so you're going to do some new bits? I'm like, yeah, I have like, I always do new bits on the show, and I'm like talking about my new bits. I'm like, how about you? He was like, oh yeah, no, not really. I'm like, okay, whatever. He was like, I'm going to go to the corner corner. I always go to the deli when I'm there to get my seltzer. And I was like, oh, I'll join you. And then as I'm walking, I realize it's not a comic, a man who was there for the show. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm just now befriending us, thinking I'm talking to like a coworker, like, so where are you from? Like, what mics have you been hitting up? You know, like an elder statesman in the community. It's just a regular man, but he did paid for my spindrift, so worth it. I'm like, I'm clocking that in. Got a $3 tall boy seltzer.
You're like, I think I just went on a date.
Yeah, it was bizarre. He's like, so where are you from? I'm like, well, I'm from Indiana, but I started in New York 2010. I'm like, yeah, I'm at the clubs. I'm on the road, but I'm just like working new. And he's like, I'm in IT. I'm like, what?
I love the idea of you telling Mike about your night, and he's like, Katie, you just described a date.
Yeah, you cheated. I'm like, well, we kissed. I mean, of course we kissed. Just a little friendly work kiss.
Just a comic kiss.
Just a comic kiss. And then he was watching the show. I guess he was like, oh, yeah, I go to the Cellar. He was like a comedy fan. He was like, I go to the Cellar. I was like, I'm there. But, nothing on the calendar right now. But
I'm on the roster.
You will see me there on the website. But he was like watching the show. I could see him. And again, like I am literally stumbling through new material on this show, some of which was amazing. Thank you. But I saw the guy he's staring at me from the back of the show, just like analyzing in his mind. It's like, get away.
He's probably going to be a comic in a year.
I'm sure he will. And he'll hit me up. He'll like then tell me a story 2 years down the road. Like, I really looked up to you. And I'll be like, great. Well, you're selling out theaters. So thank you for your consideration. Now, okay, Sunday I did drag queen brunch at the stand, which was so fun. So of course I didn't have the brunch. I just had like orange juice. I had orange juice, and then I had another insane huge cup of coffee, which was to my detriment. But I did tip $5. Always over tip when you get free food, right?
I know. Sometimes I feel like
now what's
I'm
the
paying
rule?
more money when I get free.
It's true. You're like, here's $80. Is this? I've said the number 80 about 80 times in this episode.
No, it is true. Like anytime I get free, I'm like, I guess I'm tipping you 20, and you're like, that's more than what my drink would have cost.
Yeah, but you kind of have to because you don't want to
get a reputation.
I think the rule is actually no. A friend who did work in the service industry, worked in bartending, told me that the actual rule is you always tip the amount on what the true amount would be. So like if I got an orange juice and an iced coffee, for example, like, okay, that's $10. So I would leave a reasonable tip for $10, which would be like $2, right? But then you always want to leave just a scooch more.
Yes.
$3. But I left $5. So, I mean, I think that's like normal.
Then just a coffee
and orange juice. I also got
yes, that's $20 right there.
That's $45 in Manhattan.
But it's so insane.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's so insane. I'm like, our niece is going to college here, and I don't think she has any idea the minor expenses is what's going to eat her up.
Oh, yeah. That's what gets you, because you're like, oh, well, I'm just having like one little coffee today. Like, what bag could that do? And then your coffee is $20.
And now you formed a habit that you have to get it every day.
Yeah. Otherwise, you feel sad.
Yeah. I would have days like, I'm not going to spend any money, and then I forget my charger, and then I got to go spend one of those $40 ones at the Dwayne Reed.
Well, yeah. What
like
happens
those
too,
kind of moments.
What happens too, and I noticed this in my week too, is you'll be like, oh, I haven't spent any money in like a few days. I deserve a treat. And then you spend like $100 at like Sephora, which I did. I spent $130 or like $135 on Sephora, but really getting like new eye makeup, which I have to replenish because of my blepharitis, which we all know that I'm a victim. And, getting like my hair stuff. And then I was like, well, okay, that's the only money I'll spend. That was Monday.
Okay.
But then like 2 days later, I had like an eye problem and just had to drop like $50 at CVS,
to get some, medicine.
Yeah.
And now it's Amazon Prime Day. So
it was Amazon Prime Day. So I spent $4,000.
So I could save $5 on mailing.
Yeah. Well, also on Sunday, I did go, as I was in an overcaffeinated state, I went to the Buffalo Exchange and bought a ludicrous baby doll dress that was $35, but it had the original tags on it. So I felt like I was saving money.
Well, I get that because I just bought something on Poshmark and I'm like, oh, I'm saving money. I'm like, yeah, but you just spent money on something that you probably didn't need.
Exactly. I'm doing photos. I'm doing some social media photos soon. So I'm like hoping I allowed myself to buy this insane dress that I will probably never wear under the guise that I'm going to use it for the photo shoot. But really, I just liked it.
Yeah.
I just liked it. And I was jacked on an iced coffee. And I just wanted to feel alive for a few minutes. Is that so wrong? It cost me $35.
$35. That's not bad.
Not bad. So that was my Sunday. Monday, my big purchase was the Sephora, but then later that day, I spent like $50 at CVS. Again, getting stuff that I have to have, like stuff for my eye, vitamins, melatonin.
Vitamins aren't cheap.
Yeah, I get the Alive Women's, and it's like, I think for 50 it's like $20.
Okay,
maybe it's like $15, but it's like I have to have them, otherwise, I don't know what will happen. I don't want to know. So that was Monday. I spent like $200, which is a lot in a day. Tuesday, I did go to dinner, but Mike paid for it because it was with his family, and I did get a drink, and I tipped $5 on the drink when I had a show. Wednesday, which was yesterday, I spent about $70, but it was mostly on groceries.
Okay.
So my total for the week was, and that's like groceries, personal stuff, and then I did, a couple little things for myself. Total for the week, it was like close to $500. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
I don't even
How did that happen?
I'm not making any money. You know what I mean?
I know. I'm doing a spot and getting like $25, and I'm like, I'll just spin the spot, and then I'm buying $200. I'm getting Venmo'd $15 for a bar show. I'm like, I'll just spend the money that I made now on my new car. So I spent. Yeah.
What are your groceries that you're getting?
So
do you think you're smart in the grocery shopping department?
I know that when I get groceries, I am pretty good. We shopped in 2 shifts this week, so Mike is able to get meat and cheese and certain vegetables that he knows where they are.
Okay, that's his diet.
And so when I go, I'm getting like specific vegetables for like salads that I want to make. But actually, and I like to look at the receipt sometimes and be like, where did I drop the most? It's like deli items, like, I got some salami, I got like a nicer cheese, salami. But also like fruit. Like I probably spent like, out of that $70, probably like $15 on just fruit.
We had that recently. I looked at the receipt. I was like, wow, I didn't really think I spent $50 worth of stuff on produce. Mm-hmm. But we did get like some household items. And the item that cost me the most, and it was so alarming to me, was we got 9 rolls of toilet paper and it came out to $20. And to me, I feel like that should have at least been $10 or less.
Yes. Like toilet paper should be like $12 for like a big thing of it.
Yeah.
It's marked up. So we get toilet paper from Amazon.
That's what I'm thinking about doing, is like a subscription, a monthly refill that's hopefully cheaper, because $20 for 9 rolls, I was like, that's actually a lot of money.
It is. And the thing about getting stuff from Amazon, it is bad to support the conglomerate that is Jeff Bezos. We all know this. However, it does at least, it comes in the cardboard, which is recyclable. You can actually recycle that. And, I don't know like what the other option is. It's like, am I carrying a case of toilet paper on my back from the grocery store? Am I buying 1 roll at a time? Like, that's not going to work for my hoo-ha.
Yeah.
Because I like to use and use. I don't like to skimp on the toilet paper.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
I have decided to support Amazon full-heartedly.
Just go for it.
That's my toxic trait.
Yeah. I want to... Sorry. Were you going to say something?
No, just because I'm like, you go to CVS and now they've locked everything up, that you're just like...
You can't get anything
You
at
can't
CVS
get
anymore.
anything.
Like I went to 3 different stores on Monday trying to find La Roche-Posay.
Yes.
The La Roche-Posay face stuff, and nobody has it.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, you either have to get it, I guess, from the website, or and then you're kind of just like, and now I'm waiting for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for 2 weeks, and my skin is on fire.
Well, we ended up. We had that same issue, and what ended up happening was like, oh, this is actually working out really well for Walgreens brand because they didn't lock any of the Walgreens brand up.
Oh, they locked it by my place.
Because
It's all locked up there.
Everything was like Walgreens brand deodorant, Walgreens
vitamins
or whatever. That I'm
that's
like,
great.
is this a conspiracy?
That's hilarious.
theory?
Are these free?
Yeah.
Just take ours. It's good. Now, did you do any big purchases this week?
I haven't, but there's been a lot of stuff on my mind. Well, I did. I got maternity jeans off of Poshmark.
Oh,
and they were $35 because I saw ones that I liked, but they were $198, and I'm like, I'm not buying $200 pair of jeans for something that I'll probably wear for about 4 months.
I know. And it's like after you buy it and you get it and you open it, then the thrill is over.
Yes. But now my expenses, I feel like what's adding up is I used to do the $33 a week MTA card, the physical card.
Mm-hmm.
But lately I've been so lazy to get it that I've just been scanning my phone to the Apple Pay.
Yep.
And it's just like, $275 there, $275 back. And I just feel like it's cheaper for me to do the $33 card a week because I will hit that within 2 days.
Yeah.
With running spots. And then I've just been kind of lazy about that. And then people are like, well, if you do it Monday through Sunday, it gives you that thing where it goes to $33 on the Sunday part. But I'm like, yeah, but sometimes I'm not traveling into the city on that exact time frame.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really benefit me in that way.
Yeah.
But I find it to be kind of bullshit. So I'm going to go back to the card to save money.
That's great. Yeah. I think it's hard to actually know if you're saving money sometimes, but it is good to like implement habits of just putting the toilet paper on the subscription and just having it sent to you every week, so you at least don't have to worry about, all of a sudden now you're being extorted for toilet paper because you don't have any and you're just at a corner store at 4 a.m, begging them for toilet paper. They're like, what do you have in your wallet?
Because what ends up happening when it's like that is people just start stealing it. We take it from the hotel.
Right.
Yeah. We'll always put one in our suitcase.
I remember Janine Garofalo had a joke about when she was in college, they would go to a restaurant or something and just take the gigantic roll of, she was like, that was money in the bank. Just stealing it. But anyway, everybody, let us know your money saving tips if you have any, or let us know, comment below and let us know what your big purchase of the week was.
Yeah, it's funny because sometimes I'll be like, oh, I didn't spend any money, and then I forget that I spent $1,000 on airplane tickets, and then you're like,
same.
Oh, whoops. And it is every month I go, I'm like, okay, it's time to pay my credit card, and you're like, $8,000.
It's so jarring. Yeah, and then I'm afraid to look at it, so I just won't look, but then it's just worse.
Well, especially it's insurance is every time I go to the doctor, I'm still paying out of the pocket, and we pay I think $1,600 a month.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, I should get everything for free.
Yes.
That's my opinion.
Insurance is a huge racket. If you're paying $1,600 a month, what are you even paying that for?
Well, this is my plan. I want to
do it. That's the insurance. It's such a scam. It's
it's
you
extortion.
pay this in case something bad happens. But if you need to go to the doctor, you pay this other money.
For preventative too, where you're like, if you paid for this, it means you would save so much more money in the long run.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I'm thinking about actually telling Joe to cover him and the baby, and then I'll just put mine aside into a bank account that accrues interest rate and pull it out when I need it.
Yeah, I do not have health insurance right now, and I just pay out of pocket for everything, which is actually cheaper than having insurance, because it's like, okay, like went to the dentist, I had a cavity, okay, like that's $500. You know, when I go for like the eye exam, it's $100. And then like when I go for like my women's well visit, the women's well visit is like $1,000, but it's like still like that's $2,000 as opposed to $12,000.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel like a fair rate to me. Like I did an MRI last year in Seattle because I thought I had like a blood infection after a little surgery, and it just ended up being sciatic, but it cost me $10,000, and I'm like, I'm not paying it.
That's crazy. Just let me in that machine.
Like, it doesn't cost me $10,000 to slip me into that machine. Like, I would pay $500.
Right. You just like, I want to have a cost breakdown of why this costs $10,000. Is it somebody here that's making that amount of money?
Yes. Why?
Is it the machine itself that we're still paying it off somehow, even though we use it every day? Like,
no, and I didn't even get definitive results. Like, it didn't even pick up any like sciatic pain nerve.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't. So you're like, so it doesn't even do anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Livid.
I love living is just throwing away money. It's just try to stop yourself from dying.
And like, who has the time to fight all of this?
I know. It's true. It is true. And it makes you think like when you're like, I deserve a little treat. I want to spend like $800 on this like designer dress for myself, and then it's like, no, you're gonna have a CAT scan. Yeah. You have to put that in your account for your CAT scan.
Or you're like, you might have no idea that you'll get food poisoning and it'll cost you thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
you never know.
Well, Lady Journey, everybody.
Lady Journey.
Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe. Please, if you have any money that you're willing to throw into the wind, or really, actually, you could consider it an investment.
Yes.
You can invest it in our Patreon. We have tiers $5 and $10 a month. Oh my God, how easy is that? Yeah. We got rid of our $20 here because we said, listen.
Yeah, we're not OnlyFans.
Listen, yeah, we're not showing our bum. We're just doing, some fun
extra
stuff on
content
there.
For you guys.
Mom tent.
Yes.
As we will now be calling it. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have an amazing week. And don't forget to treat yourself.
Lady Journey.